This is not an episode I was looking forward to recording. It's a good thing I've already recorded it then, isn't it? Although the anime in the second half of the new season is turning out to be not quite as good as the anime in the first half. Well, maybe that's just my opinion. Are the shows in the second half of the new season worse than the first half? Or am I just spouting a lot of nonsense as usual? Because this is a 2021 winter anime preview from a different perspective. There are some shows going into this anime season which I'm anticipating hugely. I know I'm absolutely going to love them. And then there are shows like Praeter, who I know which I would not like them, but I'm going to watch them anyway, just to see how bad they're going to get. Now the main reason why I know that Praeter is going to be bad is the animation studio behind it. I've never seen these guys touch anything and it not turn shit. But the studio's been handed Clamp's Tokyo Babylon anime, and I've already even fucked that up before they started animating it as well. Now Gohan's the studio behind such fantastic anime which I've reviewed in the past, Handshakers and Wiz. Wiz is famous for being the anime I would probably rank lowest of all the anime I've ever reviewed on all these preview guides, and doing them for a good few years as well. So Praeter doesn't really start off on the best foot. Although having watched Praeter, I've not learned any lessons. Everything I said was bad about the previous two, Handshakers and Wiz. They're repeating exactly the same mistakes. Now, I will give Gohan some credit. They are absolute geniuses at animating CG backgrounds. Every CG background I've ever seen them animate have been beautiful, glossy, super detailed, to the minutest degree. The problem is, the characters are glossy and don't just pop off the screen as if they're just laid on top of it. They've got no presence in the environment. They're just animated characters on a background, rather than animated characters in an animated world. The whole premise of a show is kind of generic. Pretty boys fighting with guns. Tattoo protects one of them. Gang warfare going on. Kid gets caught up in the middle of it. Tattoo goes to him next. And we don't know what's going to happen next. Do I care what's going to happen next? No. Because I'm too distracted by what the camera's doing. Because this anime has no real concept of how to hold a shot. Every 5 seconds it's something different. If you're looking at something for too long, you might get bored. So I wanted to switch to a different angle so you can see a different part of the background and see how beautiful it is rendered, and I don't give a shit about that. I really don't want to watch this one, and if you're planning on watching it, don't. It's a Funimation. Now the main positive I can give you for a hidden dungeon only I can enter is that it is not an isekai. You might look at the premise and the entire long title and you may think, okay, that's going to be an isekai series in a set in a fantasy world, but it's not. It's just a fantasy show set in a fantasy world. We got a couple of those this season. This one's not quite as good as the other one though. This is a more comedy, fanservice-y, tongue-in-cheek fantasy show where our main character, Noor, is just a lower class noble. He's got power, but is pretty much the lowest of the low in terms of the social orderings of things. Now he's got a fantastic dream. He wants to become a librarian because he's got the great sage skill, so he can understand everything whatever goes on. Unfortunately, a rich kid from a higher family also wants to be a librarian, and so his job, which was really looking forward to, falls through. Thankfully, he does have someone to look back to. He's got a best friend, a girl, Emma, who is huge-breasted and achingly thirsty for him. She really wants to ride his noble steed, and they basically have a huge full facial snog about 3 or 4 times in this first episode. It's not an anime to hide its fan service behind shits and giggles. Now, with his job having fallen through, Noor has to do something. So he uses his great sage skill, which he's got the cheat skill, where he can understand and get any knowledge he wants. And so he uses a great sage skill to learn where a hidden dungeon is. He goes adventuring, trying to find a treasure to become more powerful. And he finds himself a beautiful, super powerful sorceress, Olivia, who is one of the most powerful sorceresses ever to live, who fell into a single trap and can't escape. Now, rather than asking him to free her, she gives him part of his power. The power to create anything. Other skills. So not only does he now have a great shade skill, he also has a cheap power to create any skill or power he wants. I mean, it costs him life points, but he can get those just by borrowing some tongue from Emma. And she's very willing to give him that, and to give him one as well. So we got the powers of Remove Tempest, an loser with no personality, and a girl, Emma, who basically just wants to jump on him every second she gets. This is very much falling into guilty pleasure category of anime. I'll see if I've got time for guilty pleasure, because it's airing over at Crunchyroll. Horimiya is our romantic comedy of the season. I mean, there's a few of them, but Horimiya is one which really stands out more than anything else. It's an anime which really looks in at the gap between what you like in school and what you like in reality. Because school is a weird macrocosm when nothing is real. Now, our main girl, Kyoko Hori, is a super popular, super pop friendly girl at school. Everybody loves her, but they're a bit sad because she never wants to hang out with them. The reason for that is at home, she's less a super popular, intelligent, beautiful girl. She's a housewife. Well, kinda. She cares for a little brother, and so she not only cleans and does the housework and cooks food for him, she collects him from school, and she basically looks like a housewife. Our other main character, Izumi, is a kind of reclusive, gloomy guy. The guy you see in the back of the class with hair covering his eyes. That guy. Although, when we see him out of school, he's not bad at all. His hair's up and spiky, he's got many piercings on his ears, and he's got huge full body tattoos. Anyone would think he's part of a Yakuza with that kind of look, but he's not. He's actually a really nice guy. It's those weird little gaps which make the characters appealing. And so one thing leads to another, the boy meets girl, the girl meets boy, they learn each other's secrets, and they start helping each other. Now, as the story goes on, I'm sure they'll probably eventually start dating. There's going to be loads of random romantic comedy hijinks going on, people getting misunderstandings, other people liking other characters. It's going to be quite samey, but the actual plotline of the characters are appealing to me. Very much caricatures of their setting and their character types. They're believable and likeable. If you do want to watch Horimiya, this one's airing over at Funimation. Dr. Ramune, Mysterious Disease Specialist, is an anime about an immature quacker doctor who likes to take on weird medical conditions. It's a very episodic title where it looks like a single weird disease is going to be happening in each episode. In the first episode, we meet a girl who cries condiments, which sounds amusing, but if you ever think about, imagine crying vinegar. Imagine how much your eyes would sting. You don't want to cry vinegar. Now, being a one-off medical type show like this, it can go one of two directions. It can go the serious direction, where there's a real medical condition going on here, and the main character can find a way to resolve it in a medical fashion. Think about it like House. Alternatively, there's the anime way, where the main character's a jackass, he's got a very nondescript foil for a sidekick, and he finds grim solutions to the grim problems presented to him. And so it goes, because the girl who's crying condiments is crying because her mum is not really caring for her anymore. You see, the girl's a child actress, and she's making huge amounts of money for her mum by crying on command in TV dramas. Although she's no longer able to cry, for obvious saucy reasons. Now, the reason she's not able to cry is because her mum is not really paying any attention anymore. The girl doesn't like what's going on. She wants to cry, but she's been told, oh no, you can't cry. Save that for the movies. That's where our monies are being made. That's where my money's being made. That's where all my handbags are. Now, Dr. Ramune finds a way to solve this situation. It involves the mother sacrificing all of her worldly possessions, and the girl resting from acting for a short while, but it's resolved. Now, Dr. Ramune is a very episodic looking anime. It's not really one which you can get involved in very deeply, because it's going to be one episode, so one bad guy, one episode, one bad guy, and that sort of scenario. If you like grimdark series, you can find this one airing over at Crunchyroll. Talk about a mixed bag, I don't think I've ever had an episode where we've had all 4 possible results of a preview guide in one episode. The expected show was shit, We expected the show was good, and the other two were middling and okay to watch in some cases. What did you think? Am I wrong? Am I spouting nonsense like I said at the start? Let me know in the comments and join me next time. Until then, bye bye.